Hey everybody, and welcome back to Fresh Set. I'm Sabrina,
And I'm Kevin.
and we are back. We've had a week off of racing.
Racing, yeah.
We didn't have a week off.
No.
But we're back, and this week we have news and some games and fun stuff.
Yep. Yeah, something a little bit out of the ordinary, so we don't have to just go through a boring Chinese GP. Hopefully it's a little more fun than last week.
Yeah. And then we've got Miami coming up this coming weekend. So
this weekend, yeah, something
that should be fun.
It should be, and more reasonably timed. Thank God.
Yeah, we've got more sprints. We're watching races all weekend. We got
Was this a sprint again? Oh my God, yeah. I forgot it was a sprint again.
Yeah, we've got another sprint, so lots of racing and hopefully interesting racing. So we'll see what happens. What happens there?
Maybe a chance for Max not to win. Although I did watch something today where he was talking about, what do you like to do on your off time? He's like, sim racing. I'm like, of course.
Just always racing.
Yeah.
Always racing. But all right, well, let's jump right into some news of the week. There's been a lot, all kind of like leading with the same thing a little bit.
Yeah.
But first things first, we have, I don't want to say the first driver contract signing, because we had Lewis at the beginning of the year. Yeah. But we have kind of a shock one with Nico Hülkenberg going to Sauber for 2025.
Yeah, early. I wasn't expecting the 2025. I mean, it makes sense. He doesn't have a contract for next year already, but yeah, I guess he signed a multi-year, so it'll take him into when they are Audi.
Yeah. It's funny. I feel like all the contracts in the probably starting last year, they're all just multi-year. They're not like,
you never get term. Yeah, you have no idea. Because really, I mean, as we've seen in the last 6 months, term means nothing. It really doesn't.
Contracts mean nothing.
No, it means absolutely nothing. I guess drivers have it. It's not like every other sport where, you're locked in or whatever. Drivers just have it baked in that I can just do whatever the hell I want. So that term means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So everything is multi-year until we change our minds, basically. So, I was kind of shocked by that for multiple reasons. Again, Nico's been doing well last year, this year. I didn't really think he was like into it still.
Yeah.
But to sign another multi-year from having a couple years off or out of racing, and then coming back into Haas, and then I'm not happy because the car's not winning or anything, but neither is the Sauber. So
yeah, I mean, good for him. It really makes you think about what's going to happen with that second pairing, because it doesn't look like it would be. It would be Bottas or Zhao. I wonder if. I don't see Carlos going somewhere. Carlos is going to Audi, most likely going to Audi in 2026.
Yeah.
Which would make sense for him now without a contract to go in 2025. Because where is he going to go? No other. I don't see another team signing him just for 1 year, unless it's in the hopes that they convince him to stay.
Yeah, I think Nico going messes up everything that everybody kind of thought. There may have been the one team that, wants to wait till 2026 to wait for the cars to change, and they could be like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever, we'll give him the 1 year contract. We know he's going to Audi. And I mean, it's a very high probability he's going to Audi because his dad is big and was part of the
they have.
reason Audi's coming in. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
and he has a
imagine.
long-standing relationship with Audi when it comes to rally
Right.
karting, and yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So I think Nico, seeing that Nico trade is a lot bigger
yeah.
than everybody actually really thinks. Uh, yeah, I mean, Joe Guan Yu, Valtteri Bottas,
I
what
think this
happens to them?
I think this forces Carlos uh,
Sauber.
Sauber, which sucks for him. I mean, to go from
Yeah.
a car like that, from the Ferrari into that, and then who knows what they're going to be like in 2026 with the regulation
Yeah.
changes. But yeah, it's tough to think. I don't
Yeah.
see Giles sticking around. Maybe, I mean, maybe in a Haas, maybe, or Bottas either, because I mean you hear, like, and we'll get into the other news about what the other cars, who's expected to be in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we've got expected Kimi Antonelli in a Williams, probably
Yeah.
taking over Logan Sargent, and then going to the other piece of news which you had there, Ollie
Yeah.
Behrman probably getting that Haas seat,
Which
right?
I'm happy with.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, I would be happy with
yeah,
that. But it's just, I think now we're realizing some people on this grid that we thought would be there for a few more years. I mean, there's the obvious ones that we knew or know or
yeah,
possibly know are leaving this year. This is their last year, but there are some people on this current grid that we probably thought were going to be there next year, and they're not going to be there. And I
yeah.
think at this point, it's going to be multiple people.
And with the rumors that you hear between Carlos and Antonelli and Behrman, and then now Hulkenberg going there, it's really throws in a blender what happens with Perez, what happens with that Red Bull seat, what happens with Ricardo, does Liam Lawson
Yeah.
come in?
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit going
Yeah.
on.
I think our predictions have gone to shit.
Yeah, yeah. It's just
Like we're
I don't
just
I don't think we
let's
have
just start over.
one right between
Yeah.
the two of us.
I think
Um,
we just need to start over. We'll,
We'll do that.
starting.
Yeah, on another
Yeah.
off week, we'll review our predictions, see how poorly we're doing. 5 races in,
God, it
and
was like
then
3
maybe,
races
yeah,
in and
and
we're
then maybe have
bad.
to make an update. We'll see.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, you brought it up, Ollie Bierman going into
Expected to.
potentially going
Yeah,
into that Nico's seat at Haas.
yeah.
That's a good development seat for him.
Which that came out
Uh,
before Nico's news, so I was kind
yeah.
of wondering, like, yeah, I was like, well, he's expected to drive. Well, why? So I guess there was already
And
that
where?
inkling. Yeah, yeah. Which
Yeah.
makes sense. I mean, it's a Ferrari customer too, so they're going to put him in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So good for him if he gets it. I mean, I guess he'll be 19 when it comes
yeah,
around
yeah.
uh, in F1. We'll see what happens there. And I'm assuming because everything's starting to happen so early, like we usually see this stuff right before or during the summer
Yeah.
break.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be seeing a lot of stuff before summer break. We already are.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. Yeah.
rumors are
Yeah.
swirling. I think it's going to continue. We're going to see a lot of changes.
Yeah, I think
I think it's going to
I think
continue.
by
We're
the
going
summer
to
break,
we're
you're
going
gonna
to
have
see a lot
everything,
of changes
almost everything
before
kind of
summer.
solidified where everybody's gonna go. I think everybody kind of wants to be sure,
Yeah.
and lock in
Yeah.
people before that 2026. I'm actually looking at it now, and it's just because I think it's Hulkenberg's the only driver there for stake right now. Uh, I'm expecting Carlos to be the other one, but um, still don't have anybody. We don't know what's gonna happen 2025 for Alpine. Well,
No.
they don't have a contract,
No.
which means they could go to any of the other ones too. Um,
Yeah.
Red Bulls, sorry, not the Red Bulls, the V Carbs, don't have a driver yet.
No.
We still have that missing Mercedes seat, which who knows where that's going to go. It was maybe Fernando. Toto's been suckling at Max's teat for a while, trying to get him over there.
Yeah.
Um, we don't know what's going on with that other Red Bull seat, and then Williams. Both drivers don't have a contract either. Which I mean, I would assume Albon is actually, I did see that maybe. I mean, if they don't get Max, maybe Albon to Mercedes.
Yeah, and it sounds like he is, again,
Yeah,
rumors. He is meeting with Mercedes and Toto
Max. It's
after Max is meeting, yeah, with
yes, yeah,
Mercedes and
yeah,
Toto after the Miami Grand Prix, which is this weekend.
yep,
And we've also seen that meeting, and basically Mercedes is prepared to bring whoever and whatever
yep,
Max
yep.
wants from Red
Yeah,
Bull
they're
over.
preparing a 150 million euro contract and willing to take on Helmut Marko, which is a big ask. Which is, I mean, just to have Helmut and Toto, those two
That's
personalities in the same garage.
That's villain era.
Yeah, yeah,
Two big villains. Well, I mean, Toto's not that much of a villain anymore, but
no.
uh I mean, that would be a very contentious
Well,
uh
yeah, because the first thing that
paddock.
Marco's gonna do is just berate Russell. Like he's gonna stomp on him in there.
Yeah.
And then how far is Toto willing to let that go?
Yeah. I mean, Max is his golden boy. So the helmet is gonna go in there and just
Yeah,
shake shit up,
yeah.
basically. So
If
again, all
if it
rumors.
happens, yeah, yeah. If it happens, we'll
All
see how that
rumors.
goes.
Yeah, I would say in the next couple weeks we'll probably hear how that conversation went.
Yeah.
Um but I mean, sticking with Red Bull a little bit, we have the news of Adrian Newey
Mhm.
leaving Red Bull
Yeah,
at the end of 2025.
yeah, and expressing his discontent to the higher ups
Yeah.
regarding managerial structure, or something with to do with management. Um,
Yeah.
Nothing specific. I wonder what it could be. Uh,
Yeah.
um,
And I think he's about the business, and Red Bull at the beginning of this season had a lot of drama. I think he's over it. He
yeah,
built a good car. He'll build another one. He'll continue to do
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Uh but yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people in the beginning were kind of like the beginning of the season when Red Bull was going through everything. You're kind of like, do we want to be here? Do we want to be attached to this? I think Max was even kind of feeling
yeah.
that.
So
So
does that make Adrian Newey the most sought after asset in all of F1? Even if you have
yeah,
Max, even if you have anybody at Carlos, whoever.
yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
I I think he's the piece to everybody's puzzle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
It makes everybody else's
so
job a lot easier. Yeah,
yeah. So I
yeah,
mean, they're all good drivers in their own regard. They just need a car.
yeah.
Right now, the best driver has the best car. So
And Adrian Newey has
if
like
he
28 championships under his belt or something like that.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
15 world driver championships and 13 world constructors of cars he's
Yeah.
designed. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, he could command like Lewis Hamilton money. Just give
Yeah.
me 50
Uh,
mil and I'll do whatever
Yeah.
you want. Yeah.
I think he can be, and I think there's a lot of teams that have the money to afford him.
Yeah.
So it's just, I think it's going to be the pick, whatever where
Mhm.
he wants to go, what he feels best. I think there's been a lot of talk about Aston Martin
I think
really trying to poach him.
the biggest ones were Aston, Mercedes, and Ferrari, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, which if Ferrari could land them, I mean, what a year for Ferrari. I mean, they've won next year, even if they don't win the championship. They took
Yeah.
Hamilton, they took Newey.
Yeah. Well, I
Uh,
mean, I hope they win the championship because spending a lot of money to not win it
I,
would.
I wouldn't say that they're gonna win it next year.
Yeah, they need a couple years.
Yeah, it maybe two, maybe let him get in there and actually design the car.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. Fair.
yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see where he goes.
Yeah. He's not going to the back of the paddock. He's
No,
definitely front, maybe mid. I can see McLaren taking him. trying to. I don't know if Zach wants to put up that money
No, I don't
or
think so.
McLaren wants to put up the money, but
I think
we'll
your
see.
I think your best bet is probably Aston Martin,
Yeah.
just because they'll throw whatever money they want at him. Or if Max for some reason does go to Mercedes, that might sway him to go to Mercedes.
Yeah. Do you think Adrian cares about the driver of the car?
I think he does.
Yeah. So
I
you
think he
think
does.
he's like
I
team Max?
No, I not necessarily Team Max, but I think that he's Max has obviously proven that he can handle whatever Newey
He
puts in front
designs.
of him. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's done it time and time again. So I think he's proven that, and you can see the difference. Like, yeah, if you're gonna go to a team that has a driver like Perez, who's a great driver, but is not getting the same out of the car that Max is, I think that does play a big factor into it, right? And who
Yeah.
knows? They might have a great relationship. It depends on that relationship as well. I don't know. Who knows, right? He
Yeah.
might not like Max's dad. He might not like
It's hard
Helmut
to
Marko.
tell.
Who knows? I don't
This,
know.
this
But
is true.
so
It's so hard to get a read on Adrian Newey because anytime you see him in like on the screens or in the paddock, it's just all about the business. No
yeah,
smiles, just like he's got
very
his
stoic. He's just yeah,
briefcase.
yeah. He's
Yeah,
just
he's
looking
just
at details and just
yeah,
working everything out in his head and no emotion.
headset on. Like I
Yeah,
don't think I've seen a video of him like talking to somebody in the paddock. Like he's just
not
in
in the
his
paddock.
own
No, no,
world.
no.
Like so, yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens with that. But it sounds like it is confirmed, right? That he is, or is that
No, it's not
still
confirmed.
over?
Not that I
Okay.
saw. It was confirmed that he's expressed his discontent, which seems like he's going to leave.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I might have missed
Right.
it, but I did see that he was leaving. You see those reports everywhere, but I also did
Yeah.
see, I think it was Sky Sports that had said um, that he is not happy in his role where he is. And I don't think they confirmed that he is actually leaving yet.
Yeah.
But there are offers everywhere, so it's who knows.
Yeah. Do you think Red Bull would put up a fight in terms of
How
like
could they not?
wanting to keep him and throw money at him?
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah.
think so. I think that Red Bull and more specifically the parent company Red Bull would rather have
Yeah.
Adrian Newey than Christian Horner. Um,
Ooh.
yes, Red
You're
Bull the
you
company, not and it, so. But
right.
you got to remember, we have had this before where
Yeah.
there's been what's opposing opinions between Red Bull the parent company. I believe it's a Taiwanese investment company. Is there Taiwanese or Southern? I can't remember which country it is, but one of the ones that has a fairly large stake in the Red Bull uh, uh, market,
Yeah.
that have been backers of Horner before.
Yeah.
So I think that Red Bull themselves would rather have Newey because he's done it time and time. I mean, so is Christian, but I mean, you see it with the Vettel years, the Verstappen years.
Yeah.
He's consistently put out a good car.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would agree. So then would you think the good old switcheroo, like we'll get rid of Christian if you stay. Um
Would that solve other problems? I think I no, I don't think so. I don't think that would that actually. Yeah, you know what? It probably would because the problem necessarily isn't the rumors and the scandal. The problem is the relationship between, especially
yeah.
Joss Verstappen and Horner, and obviously where Josh goes, Max goes, um, you know, um, Marco goes. I think there's broken relationships there that can't be repaired, and it's
Yeah.
just going to continue to create um, some division,
Yeah.
right?
You can kind of even hear it on the radios after, all of Max's wins so far. Like Christian used to be very like enthusiastic on the radio. Now it's
Very,
just like, well,
very
good job.
subdued. Yeah,
Good
yeah,
race.
yeah,
Thanks, Max. Like where before it was like awesome drive, awesome, like everything was great.
Yeah. And you've
Very
really
chill.
seen Christian take a step back, it
Oh
seems.
yeah.
You don't see him very much on camera. You don't see him very much at the wins. You know what I mean? It's for some reason
No.
he has been, you know, the very one of the lesser one of the lesser shown team principals.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, even after the race, when everybody's turned off the race and I'm
Yeah.
still watching
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
going
yeah.
on Sky Sports, they were always Sky Sports and F1 TV, they're always interviewing the principals, the drivers after. Christian, always one of them.
Yep.
This year,
Nothing.
barely.
Nothing.
Like, he's
He
not
had
there.
he had 1 or 2 early press conferences, and I haven't heard anything from him. You always
No.
have a quote. I mean, the latest one was mostly about Toto paying attention to his cars and his drivers.
Yeah.
So that's, little old Christian there. Um,
Yeah.
but that's basically been it since
Yeah.
he told everybody to leave him and his family alone, in the first week, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been about a month and a half now with
Yeah.
not a lot from him.
No, not
So
at all.
yeah, it's very obvious that divide within the paddock.
There's something going on.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah,
something going on. Uh, then we have Lance Stroll
yeah.
with Aston Martin.
Random.
And
I mean,
his
who asked him this question?
I don't
Who
know.
asked him?
Nobody
Who cares?
asked. He just released the statement.
Did he?
Um,
Was somebody just like interviewing somebody else and he about 2025 and he just showed up
I'm
like, yeah,
unsure.
guys, I don't know exactly what I'm doing. Thanks for asking. I'm just gonna go now. I'm just like,
Like,
who's that
nobody
guy?
asked him.
No,
Who is that? Is he on the grid?
is he a mechanic?
Yeah. So he has stated to somebody that he is unsure of his 2025 contract plans,
Future, yeah,
future.
whatever his future is.
What
Well,
he,
I mean,
what he,
contract's there, it's there if he wants it, but,
yeah,
which I thought when I saw that, and I'm thinking this is before the Nico signing, and the thought was maybe Carlos could go there, or Perez or something. I thought, is he getting pushed out and we just don't know about it? Is
by his
he
dad.
is his dad saying maybe it's time to look into the family business, maybe
Yeah,
not take up so many millions of my dollars.
yeah. Maybe we go into tennis. You,
Yeah,
you want to
maybe,
still
yeah,
play tennis?
yeah. We'll start you on the amateur tour.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Pickleball champion.
my first thought was, is there some kind of you know somebody leaning him in a different direction so they can get somebody else in there?
Yeah. But would you like
That's far fetched. I mean, come on.
is there any team that is taking
No,
Lance Stroll?
no, don't even finish that sentence. Don't even. Where's he gonna go? Where's he
I
gonna?
don't know.
He's gonna go to Williams. No, he's not going to Mercedes. Toto's not taking him unless he
And
wants
how
to get invited to
embarrassing.
another Lawrence Stroll party, like he did last year.
And
Um,
how embarrassing is that your dad owns one team and you'd be driving
yeah, yeah,
for
yeah,
another
yeah.
team?
He's
So,
basically telling you to go fend for yourself, which is about time.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
um, yeah, no, I don't see any other team, not with the young talent and the talent that's still out there now. I don't see it. I'd
No.
see another team taking Ricardo over him. I'd see another team taking probably, I don't know if they take Sonoda over him. Maybe, maybe
Yeah. I
depends how he
just
does the rest of the year. But um,
yeah.
yeah, no, I don't.
It's just odd. It was like a weird thing to say, and
And
I
there was
mean,
no context. It was like, yeah, he's
right.
unsure. This is all we need to tell you about it because it
And like
says it's
he
very
has a
cryptic when he asked about his future.
right, and like he has a contract that nobody actually knows about because again, his dad owns the team.
It's open ended. Yeah.
So it's just I we assumed it was until his dad doesn't own the team. Then
Yeah, that's what we thought. We thought that Lawrence would get rid of the team before Lance left.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
maybe there. Who knows? Maybe there's a dealing in the background. We don't
Maybe
know.
that's the next thing to come out and Lance is in trouble for releasing his
Yeah,
unsolicited statement.
Yeah, yeah,
So we'll see what happens there. But again, maybe another seat that's opened up uh for Aston Martin,
yeah.
maybe.
Which makes you
We'll see.
well, I was gonna say maybe makes you think maybe that could be Perez, but it could be. I mean, him and Alonso are friends.
Yeah.
But then who would get that Red Bull seat? Which everything's in a blender now. I have no idea. My head's gonna
It,
explode.
yeah. I think every other driver pairing for the rest of the season is just going to be we're going to be like jaws on the floor.
Yeah,
Like we're
yeah,
just going to be like, "What?" It
yeah.
just it won't make sense. So, we'll see. But finally we have for a little finally a little bit of news. Ferrari for the Miami GP, they are introducing the blue livery on their car for the first time in over 50 years.
Yep. Yeah, as a nod back because it's 70 years since they've been in
Some,
F1, 70 years.
yep, 70 years in
And
F1.
they had a blue and white car at that time. So yeah, which they actually had. And I sent you that video. The Charles and Carlos helping to design the car.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see if they're different cars, maybe
Yeah.
because
They've
they don't agree on much lately. So
yeah.
um,
They've seen there's been some pictures released. I don't think it's the
I don't know
act.
if
I
they're
think it's what
official.
people
Yeah, so I
yeah,
don't know.
I think it's just what people think it's going to look like
Yeah,
based on the I mean, we've seen their racing suits. We've seen the pit crew suits.
yeah. It looks like it's gonna be like a
Um
baby blue kind of lighter
yeah.
blue ish
Yeah.
one.
So, we'll see. I think it will so far I like the colors
Yeah,
of the suits and everything, but we'll see what it looks like. I think everybody's going to be a little bit it's going to be weird not having a red car on
having another blue car out there, and
on
it's the
track. Yeah.
fourth blue car.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's going to stick out from the other blue,
sure,
but
sure. It'll be at the front.
yeah,
Um,
the
well, it
other
will
one's
be. The other
way
3
at the
will
back.
be somewhere in the bottom 10, and those
Yeah.
2 will be somewhere in the top 5. So,
Yeah. Good point.
yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, excited. We'll
Uh,
probably find out by Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. I'm assuming they'll reveal it. If
yeah, I
not, a
mean
picture of
they
it
only have
tomorrow, but
a few
yeah,
days.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So,
actually the only other news that we did have was Lando breaking his face.
yes.
So
Partying
it's in the
on a
Netherlands.
riverboat
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
Netherlands.
at, King's Day celebration in the Netherlands, and somehow breaking his face, which his nose is bandaged up. It's got an eye covered up for some reason. I don't know. Maybe that's just the way they put the bandage on. But
Yeah.
how the hell is he going to get a helmet on without screaming like a little girl?
What I've seen so far is that it shouldn't impact his race.
It shouldn't
So
impact his race. It's just going to hurt a hell of a
it's just
lot.
gonna hurt getting it on
I am going to
and
listen to that
then
team radio consistently just so I
just
can
have
hear
it on.
just that cracking in his voice every time he takes a high speed corner. So
Yeah. Hopefully it's not broken and like he just like fell and scratched the
yeah, it doesn't
like
look like it's broke. I don't think it would be. He would have been. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, yeah. It's just
well
how drunk was he that he
and like
just smashed
honestly,
his face?
everybody else is like, relaxing
Yeah.
during it shows his age,
Well, and you
which
would
is
think
fine.
like you just came off
But
of China. You got 2 weeks till Miami. You'd probably spend a week in Miami or getting there a little bit earlier. One for the time change, and two because it's Miami. You can party, you can enjoy yourself, you can lie on a beach, whatever you want. No, I'm gonna go to the Netherlands to get effed up. It's just
like everybody else is back into training,
yeah.
taking relaxing vacations. I see Charles has gone back to Monaco. Valtteri went to South Africa and
Yeah.
has been like cycling around. Everybody leisurely and normal.
Yeah.
Lando goes
Lance is taking
partying.
headers. Orlando's taking headers in the Netherlands.
Yeah, just looks real good. But I
Yeah.
mean, what? He's like 23, 24?
Oh no, good on him. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
surprised he didn't
like
break more, but
yeah. It's all good.
How close was he to the
But
red light district? That's what I want to know.
I'm
What was
sure
he
pretty
really
close.
doing there? Um,
Sure pretty close. All
um,
right.
that was it for our news.
Yeah, that's our news segment. And we said we have a little bit of a game, a little bit of something different, kind of with the times of other sports right now. We're getting into draft season.
Yep.
We've already had a couple different drafts already. I think
NFL draft was
W,
just this weekend.
yeah, WNBA, NFL. We're gonna start to see some more drafts. So we thought, why not do an F1 draft?
Let's do it. And I have
Let's
no idea
do
what's going on here because you outlined this all for me.
yeah.
So I'm looking at this
So
going in blind.
so we are gonna. It's not gonna be something overly complicated, but we're just gonna put together our dream team,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. And then
So
we can kind of grade it afterwards and see
yeah.
who did
See how it
better.
does. Yeah. So we've got 5 different categories. 4, but 5-ish.
No, fine. Yeah.
So we get to pick a car, we get to pick a team principal, we get to pick 2 drivers, and then we get to pick a pit crew. Now the pit crew includes everybody in the paddock for that team. So you're picking the
Pit wall,
mechanics, the pit
mechanic,
wall,
yeah.
strategists.
Strategists, yeah.
Everybody comes with that. So
Aerodynamics.
yeah, Adrian
Yeah,
Newey.
exactly.
so
Can we just have
so
a category that it's an Adrian Newey list
yeah,
pit crew?
just yeah, each year of just him.
Yeah.
So we are going to figure out who goes first, and then we will do car options. Car options are going to be our first choice. And what I've done is I've written out some of the better cars over the last couple of years. So we have the RB19, which would be the car from 2023. We've got the RB20, so the car from 2024, so this year. We have McLaren 2024, Ferrari 2024. I threw this one in there. Mercedes 2021.
Just to F shit up.
Just to F shit up. Now, granted, they didn't win in 2021. Oh, no, they did win. They just didn't. Max,
they won drivers.
No.
They won constructors.
Yes.
They did not win.
But just not drivers.
Drivers, yes.
So this is the controversial car. Controversial win.
It was their best. It was their last best car.
It's our last best car. So I threw in a Williams 2023. Was pretty good.
It'd be interesting if either of us picked that.
An Aston Martin 2023.
Last year's Aston Martin that had a great start.
Yeah.
Is this a pre-break Aston Martin 23?
Yeah, we'll go
pre-break. Pre-upgrade. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, pre-upgrade, which was a downgrade that we've talked about. So that's the car options that we're going to start with. And now we just need to figure out.
We're going to do a snake style draft. So this way, whoever goes first here in the cars will get second pick in the next category, which would be team principal. I don't have a coin around me to flip. I do have a guitar pick. So this will be tails. This will be heads. Okay.
Wait, which one's tails?
Heads is the one with a head on it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Tails has absolutely nothing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna flip this here, and it went so far I can't see it. So
and neither of us called anything.
Oh, that's that Friends episode. Oh my god! Somebody call it this time. We are stupid. I will let you. I will let you call it. Okay.
Okay.
So you call it now before I flip it because there might be a lag a bit. So heads or tails?
Okay, heads.
It is tails, and I'm not shitting you. Okay, I'm just sorry. I can't.
Okay.
Well, I'm trying to not to hit the mic here and stuff. It's a little
Yeah.
bit crowded. My son decided to F my whole thing up here. So, anyways, um, okay, so I've got first pick. So I've got the first
Okay.
car.
You get the first car.
I mean, the easy answer is the RB20. It's the easy answer.
So
Actually,
RB20.
sorry, actually,
20. So
sorry. No,
this
wait, I
is
haven't picked it yet. I haven't
okay.
picked it. The easy answer is the RB20 or the RB19. The RB19 had a phenomenal season. We're not done with the RB20 yet. Um, I am going to go. Oh, this is tough. I'm not picking a
It's
Red Bull.
tough.
I'm not picking a Red Bull. I am going.
Shock.
I'm going to go with the 2024 Ferrari.
Interesting.
It was that or the 2021 Mercedes.
I did not see you picking
You
a
just thought of Red Bull was gone.
I did not. I didn't see you picking. I thought you were definitely Red Bull or Mercedes.
I could throw. I just one. I want to throw off your game because I know you'd want to pick a Ferrari. So go to
Just
hell.
messing with my team here.
No, no. It was the Ferrari, this year's Ferrari or the 2021 Mercedes. The 2021 Mercedes was a fantastic car. Um, Obviously capable of winning everything. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna go with this year's Ferrari
Okay.
for their reliability. The fact that you can have two cars that can drive it, or two drivers, sorry, that can drive it, put yourself in the points. Their tire degradation's been amazing. They've been good in the straights, good in the corners. So I'm taking that.
Okay. Well, rude because that's what I wanted.
Oh,
Um,
mine's worse.
but
Mine's worse.
but
I know
I
what you're picking already because I saw you highlight it. You
rude.
gotta wait. You gotta wait. You gotta
I
slow
didn't
it
know you were
down.
still in it.
Well, how
Okay.
am I reading it?
No, fair. So I am going with RB19. I think the car was just phenomenal. And if I want to win, I want my team to win by 27 seconds. And so far, they're
That's a
not
good
doing
one.
that.
That's a good one. Okay.
So
All right.
I am sticking with RB. I mean, the season is young. I'm sure we're going to see at least one of those. But the, the RB19, those wins, undefeated. So that's where I'm going.
But they were wins with only one driver at that point.
Good point.
I will give you
Good,
that. I will remind you of that. Sorry.
good point. So we'll see. But I'm going with 2024.
Okay. All right.
Or 2023,
So,
sorry.
oh yes, sorry. So now you've got the team principals now. You get first pick in our team principals.
Yes. Yes. So, team principals, we have a lot of the ones that are on the grid currently, and then a couple I threw in there. We got Christian Horner, Toto Wolff, Fred Vasseur, Mike Crack, James Vowles,
I want to. I want to so bad.
Andrea Stella, Bruno Famine, Claire Williams, Mattia Benado, and Gunter Steiner. So those last three, no longer team principals, but had to include them for a quick shout out. Now, looking at this, I am going to pick. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Oh, just lost my light there. I'm going to go out on a limb and choose. I'm going to go with Andrea
Stella from McLaren.
Andrea Stella from McLaren.
Reasons?
I didn't
You don't
want
have to
Horner.
have them. You didn't want.
I didn't want Horner. I thought about Toto. I don't know if Toto can handle the RB the RB. Andrea, I just think he's figured out his team. It's a slow build, I think, but they're getting there. I
Okay.
think he's got a good driver pairing. I think overall just liking where he's heading.
Okay, fair
But
enough.
yeah, Christian wasn't an option for me.
Okay.
Not for
Okay.
anything,
You
but
just don't like the drama.
I don't like the drama.
Fair enough.
Call me Adrian Newey.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. See, if I was you and I had the RB19, I would have picked Mike Crack. Just because the car will win. Don't need the team principal, but you have Mike
Fair.
Crack.
But I
So that's not my pick, but
yeah.
so for me, with my Ferrari, the easy one would be Fred Vasseur because it's just easy. I mean, it's working now. I'm gonna go with James Vowles. I
James.
think, I think he can take what's already a good car, and with his engineering background and his data analysis, could probably take it a little bit better, if it's possible, and kind of make up a couple of tenths here and there. And I just enjoy his management style. I think he
Yeah.
could. I think he could calm down the two drivers that they're there currently. Not they're not going to be my two drivers, but, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think he has a good a, a good grasp on team leadership. So
Yeah, he just, takes one car away from one and gives it to the other.
but he's shown he can make the tough decisions. I respect
Yeah,
it.
this
So
is true.
yeah,
But all
that's
right.
good of mine.
Okay, so James Vowles versus Andrea Stella. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
interesting. All right, so now we go into drivers. Drivers, we have everybody on the current grid. I'm not going to name all 20.
No,
Everybody knows all 20. And then I
you really
just
wanted to
thought,
just yeah,
throw one in
yeah,
there,
yeah. You want to
and
really make it tough.
really make it tough. And I
It
threw
was
in Michael Schumacher.
yeah. It was easy for me when you just had the 20. Then you put that in there.
Yeah. And you get first pick. So
I
this is
know.
driver one.
Yeah. This is
Driver
driver
one.
one.
Yeah.
The thing is that if I pick, there's a few I can pick. I mean, let's be honest here. My choices for number one are going to be Max Lewis or Michael Schumacher.
Yeah.
And so that leaves. I'm pretty sure you're taking one of the other two I don't pick. My guess, just a guess.
Yes.
Um, shit, I've got to go with Michael Schumacher. How can I not? I mean, he's already
Yeah.
proven he's going to win in a Ferrari. How absolutely fucking awesome would it be to see him in a Ferrari again? And on my winning team.
In a
Uh,
blue Ferrari suit.
yeah, yeah. No, that's to me the easy pick that you just
Yeah.
threw
Yeah. I had Jensen
in
Button
there.
on the list as well. And I was like, no.
Nah,
Keep him
I
off.
wouldn't have picked
Yeah.
him. You should have put Danica Patrick in there, but
Yeah. But it just didn't make the list. I wonder why.
yeah.
Okay, so you've got Michael Schumacher, which I kind of figured whoever had the first pick would pick him.
And when I
Um,
went through that list, like briefly, very very briefly, I thought you threw in Mick Schumacher. I'm like, why is this in here? Who's gonna pick this?
What's wrong with Mick? But
It's,
no,
yeah,
we don't need to get into it. All right. So you are correct. I'm gonna pick the obvious answer in the RB19. I'm picking Max. He knows how to drive the car. He doesn't need anybody to tell him how to drive the car. He just knows what he's doing. So I'm gonna go with the current champion, Max Verstappen as my driver number 1, and he will be my well, we'll see. He might be my number 1 driver on my team. I'm gonna have favorites.
Yeah. Well,
I'm gonna have
okay.
favorites.
Just
Yeah.
don't give it away too early. Well, it's your pick
Yeah.
anyway, so
Yeah.
uh,
Oh, it is my pick
it
again.
is your
Okay.
pick. Yeah. Yeah.
So driver number 2, um, I
I
don't
think I'm
think
gonna be shocked.
I I was just gonna say, I don't think anybody's gonna be shocked. I should have thrown reserve driver in here as well.
I mean, we
I
could do it. We can make up whatever game we want. Why not?
we could. I am gonna go with Charles Leclerc. Shocker, but
In a
here's my
Red Bull.
reason.
That's so weird.
Here's my reason. We
Yet you're
need to
trying to
have
trap him.
another.
That's
Well,
exactly what you're
yeah.
trying.
Other than that, I just think those 2 as teammates would be hilariously bad. Like, if there's any sort of racing against each other, I think we are
Oh
gonna
yeah.
be thrown right back to karting days,
Yeah.
and there's gonna be just an incident.
And you would just
So,
see a salty Charles in the paddock just
yes.
eating away at his ice cream, just seething.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, we forgot that little bit of news too, but we can get back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think those 2 as teammates could be really, really good or really, really bad. Um, Now Max would be my number 1 driver, obviously, he knows the car,
Ooh.
but Charles is just the number 1 in my heart.
Oh, okay.
So just just number 1 in my we're just, emotional choosing
Yeah,
teams. This is not the way to do it, but
really putting all your red flags out
yeah,
there.
all the red flags.
Yeah.
We know I don't see red flags, so it's a little pink, but
So much to
just
say.
don't even go
So
into it.
much to say.
Uh,
Where were we? Okay.
you're driver number 2.
I see your cursors over Lance Stroll. You better not highlight
Oh.
them.
Sorry.
So for me, I mean, I the easy one, easy two probably would be Lewis or Fernando, um, future and former Ferrari driver.
Mhm.
But I'm not going that way. I am going Lando. I am going Lando
Lando.
Norris. I think he's probably a outside of Michael Schumacher on our list here for but on the current
Yeah,
grid, he's definitely in the top 4 of drivers on our in the grid. Um,
absolutely.
and that's just because Carlos is having a great year. If Carlos isn't having the year he's having this year, I would probably put Lando at number 3, maybe 3, maybe 4,
Yeah,
depending on Charles. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, I think his potential is untapped. I think him with Schumacher as a teammate would go a long, long way, and putting
yeah.
him in a Ferrari would really vault him to the top. And we would probably finally get a Lando win.
Yeah. I mean, I would actually agree with everything you just said. I think Lando is not that he's in a bad car. I think he just hasn't been in a winning car
Yeah,
yet. I think it's there. This is the
yeah,
season I think he has the best chance to do it. But for now, I think he just hasn't been in the right car.
yeah.
If he was in a Red Bull, if he was in a Ferrari, a Mercedes, he would have had a couple of wins by now, for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I would agree with that. I think Lando is a good choice,
Thank
and
you.
that's a good pairing.
Thank you. So's yours. Although for some reason you want them to fight. Um, do you
Come
want to
on,
do?
it makes it interesting.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Do you want to do a reserve driver?
Let's do a
Let's do a
reserve
reserve driver.
driver.
Okay, let's do a reserve driver, but we have to set a rule. Like we can't pick Lewis Hamilton as a reserve driver.
Okay.
We can't pick a driver on here who would normally be a number one driver.
Okay.
So any of the bottom team drivers,
Okay. So
and then a second. Yeah, I would say, yeah, any of the bottom team drivers. We'll throw in Lance Stroll is there as well. Um, we'll throw in Checo, and then we might as well throw in Behrman and Antonelli.
okay. We're just
And Mick Schumacher
adding.
because he's a reserve driver. So why not? Why the fuck
Oh,
not? That's
why the fuck not? Okay. So that
it's my turn.
basically, it's your turn.
So I get first pick here.
Yeah.
So for my reserve driver, oh, we can't pick Piastri either. We cannot pick Piastri because he is in
Nope.
a top team.
Nope.
So for me, that would be I'm gonna go with Albon.
Oh,
I think he's the
I was
strongest of the bottom teams.
I was shocked there for a second. I thought you were about to say who I wanted.
Damn
And
it.
I think mine is going to be a bit of a shock as well, just because of my previous predictions and my ranking. Sorry, not my predictions. Um, so my reserve driver. I mean, you threw in Ollie, so I was like, oh, right there for Ollie. But I am going to go with Nico Hulkenberg.
Okay. Okay.
Purely based on this last week. There
Yeah.
is something that Sauber is seeing. And I mean, I shouldn't say that. He is driving the hell out of that car
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
So,
Complete shitbox, and he's putting it into or close
and
to the points.
he's getting in Q3s. He's getting very close. He's just driving that car.
Very much
And
outclassing his teammate.
yeah, and seeing an early pick for a contract. I mean, again, it's Sauber, but
Yeah.
it's going into Audi. There's something there. So I'm gonna go Nico Hulkenberg for my reserve driver.
All right. It's a good pick. I like it.
All
I thought
right.
about it. But
That's why I was like, he's for sure gonna pick
no, I thought
Nico.
about it, but
But
no.
I was ready to
I'm a big
snow.
Albon fan, so I mean,
Yeah,
I couldn't. I mean,
couldn't not pick him.
other than the fact that he's destroying cars this year,
Just
but that's why he's a reserve.
destroying
He
them.
just needs to be in the
Yeah.
sim. I don't care. He's
Yeah.
just fine. Take a practice. He's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So pit crew.
Yep.
This is a small list, and I kind of went with the best and the worst.
Oh, you did. Oh, I was gonna say you did put, but you did. You did.
I did put the
You did.
best and the worst. So just to, just in case you want to rebuild the team.
Do we do we want to be able to choose each other's on this one?
No. Wait, who goes first?
Because I would be very interested. Okay, well, we might as well read the list here. So
Yeah.
actually, you go first in this one. So,
Okay.
but there's Red Bull, McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes, and Stake F1. So if we were choosing each other's, I would be very interested to see if you can take a 30-second lead, still have Stake F1's pit crew, and still win.
I would
That would
deserve the
that would
championship.
Well, yes, but that would be the best. That would determine the best car in the grid. Because then you would, if you could win by like 2 seconds and still have a 50-second pit stop, I think you're okay.
That's fair.
Okay, but no, we're not
that
picking
is
each other's.
fair.
No,
We're not
because you
picking
have
each
first
other.
pick. No, we're not doing that.
Yeah. So just send that over to you. I am going to go with a little bit of a shocker. The obvious. It's not the obvious. Sorry. I'm going to go with McLaren. I think.
Not a shocker at all.
Yeah, not a shocker. I mean, yeah, no. I'm going with McLaren. I think though they didn't win fastest pit stop throughout the season last year, they did have the fastest pit stop, 1.8 seconds.
Yeah.
I think overall, it's a decent, good pit wall,
Yeah.
pit team, paddock. They all seem to get along. There doesn't seem to be drama in that paddock ever, other than the Piastri signing. Uh, they just kind of seem to have their stuff together. They're just maybe don't have the car necessarily.
Mhm.
Uh, so I think with my RB19 and the McLaren pit crew, we're good.
Maybe.
Maybe.
No, that's a good choice. It's and very valid reasons.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, I'm gonna go with obviously steak. Um,
Obviously.
just just delete that. Get that cursor well away from there. Um, um, Mercedes. I mean, they have been together for quite a long time. Ferrari, I don't trust their pit wall. I mean, they're pretty consistent with their mechanics, at least this year. Um, but their strategy doesn't seem they don't strike a lot of confidence in me. I
No.
don't think they like strike a lot of confidence in their driveway drivers because they keep asking them if they feel if plan A should be better, plan B.
Yeah.
Like
How do you feel
you're
about
the one
plan
looking at the
A?
data. Like figure
Yeah.
it out. It's got to be Red Bull. I
Yeah.
mean, it's always been the most consistent,
Yeah.
consistently great pit stops. They're always in that 2.3 average, probably to
Yeah.
2.2 average pit stop. They've got their stuff down. You don't really see a lot of glaring mistakes in that area.
Yeah.
Um, they all get along. The pit crew
The
all
pit
gets
crew.
along. Um, and strategy wise, they seem to all have it figured out. They have a plan for every single situation, and they're good to go. Um,
Yeah.
and I got to take JP or GP.
GP.
Um, yeah, I can't let you have Max and GP.
Yeah.
So
You're stealing GP
I'm
from
taking,
me.
yeah, I'm taking him.
All good.
And they have, like I said, their strategy is always on point, and they don't really
Yeah.
have many glaring mistakes there. Whether it's tire conditions, what we're going to do in weather, what we're going to do when in certain situations that by lap 25 or whatever. It seemed to have it all figured out. So it seems like the easy answer for me.
It is a bit of an easy answer, but it's good. I mean, it's valid.
Yeah, yeah,
They're the ones winning. So I thought McLaren and their pit stops, and again, just overall team for me. But I think I know we talked last week, and I'm just kind of going back to the Chinese Grand Prix quickly here, but we talked about Red Bull's pit stops,
yeah.
and they had 4 total, and they were
Max, yeah,
all 2 point. The
2.3 and
longest was
less.
2.1 or
No,
2.3.
they
Yeah.
have Checo had a 2.3. I think he had also a 2.1. Max had a 2.2 and a 2 flat.
Yeah. There was also a double stack
Yeah.
in that.
Yep.
So, I mean, they weren't as close in the double stack as we usually see where people are stressing. But, I mean, to still do that quick
Yeah.
with a
They're
double
on
stack
it. They're on it
is
at all times.
crazy.
Yeah.
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 So, I would say that's a good choice
Yeah. Thank
for
you.
them.
Me too.
All right. So there's our teams. There's our drafts. We've got,
Yes.
for me, RB19, Andrea Stella as my team principal. I've got Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, and Nico Hulkenberg, and a McLaren pit wall and pit crew.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And for
and
me, I've got this year's Ferrari,
yeah.
with James Vowles heading them, with Michael Schumacher as my number one, Lando
Yeah.
Norris as my number two, and Albon as my reserve, with my Red Bull pit crew.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
Yours
if
is
Ed,
quite like mixed up.
yeah,
Mine's pretty like
trying to
concise, but yours
trying to
is
think
all over.
outside the box here.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, whoever's listening, if you agree or don't disagree, let us know in any comments, and
Yeah.
what you would have done better, and if you think we're idiots or not. I mean, other than that coin flip. Um,
We're both just like watching it.
Yeah, just
Hello.
looking at nothing. I'm like, "Oh, look, it's
Yeah.
heads. What does that mean?"
Okay. Yeah.
Um, so stupid.
God.
Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, so that was our draft. I
Yeah.
like these games. They're fun.
Yeah. We love these games. And we'll do more. We've got lots of off weeks. I mean, we have a month off in August or 3
Yes.
weeks or
Yeah.
something like
After
that
the
in terms
after the
of
first week, there's a race in the first week of August, I think, and then
yeah.
we're off for close to a month.
Yeah. So,
Well, F1 is off. We're not off.
we will be here
Yep, we'll be here or there
by
then.
whatever. Yeah.
Whatever, whatever
Whatever means necessary. We
philosophical
will be there.
bullshit that is. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly. All right. Well,
All right.
that's this week's episode, I think.
Yep.
Again, follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, Amazon podcast, Amazon Music,
Amazon
Apple
Music, podcast.
Podcast, and
That's
Spotify. At Fresh Set Podcast on everything. Like, subscribe, rate, comment,
thumbs up.
interact,
Send it to
like
people
our
you
stories.
send it to other people.
Yes.
Share it along.
Tell everybody about it.
Yep, for sure.
And we will be back next week. We've got, like I said before, Miami, which is always fun. Lots of
Yeah.
celebrities. Always. It's been 2 years, but so fun.
It's always been fun.
Yeah, still fun. We've got a sprint, so hopefully lots to talk about. Hopefully
There'll
an
be more news.
exciting
We'll get back into our
race.
fresh set and our dirty air.
Yeah, because I guess we don't have any this week.
No.
But yeah, so we will see you guys next time.
Yep, grab a fresh set.
Bye.